This news will break you, and it started after your last message. 21 minutes left to open this. My beloved, stay here, and don't even think about scrolling away. Something started the moment you hit send on your last message. And what's coming next will either break you or birth a miracle that no one expected. Every second you remain here is another second closer to a secret being exposed. It didn't happen by chance. Your last message triggered something. An old file buried in silence got opened. There was a person watching your movements, your energy, your steps. They were just waiting for a signal, and unknowingly you gave it. Right now someone has moved from watching to acting. A series of quiet instructions is already in motion. You might not feel it, but your name is circulating in a room you've never seen. It's not a place that looks threatening. It's clean, clinical, and covered in white tiles. But what's happening inside is anything but peaceful. There's a screen with your name, and a photo of your last moment of silence. A shadowy figure stood up from a desk and made one call. He spoke only 4 words. Start the file now. That was 21 minutes ago. What followed next was a protocol only activated when a hidden rule is violated. You didn't know it, but someone had placed your name under protection. And you were never supposed to find out. But something you said, something small and innocent, woke it all up. It made a certain individual panic. They knew the moment your attention returned to this space, they would be exposed. If you feel your heart reacting right now, if something inside you says this is not random, pause for a second and let that feeling speak. Many will scroll, but some are meant to respond. Type Amen 777. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this inner voice. The way your heart just fluttered, the cold on your back, the sudden shift in energy, that's not just emotion. That's spiritual detection. You're being led now, not forced, not pushed, but led. There is a black notebook in someone's hand, and inside it is a time, a place, a transaction, and your name. You were only supposed to find out after it was too late, but destiny is shifting. You've arrived early. You're not supposed to be reading this, but you are. And that's why everything is suddenly trembling. In a silent archive, far from the noise of your daily life, a drawer slid open. Inside it, a memory someone erased is glowing with new life. That memory belongs to you. Someone you trusted held back a detail that could have saved you years of confusion. And now, because the truth slipped through a single sentence, they're rushing to cover it back up. But the lock is broken. The man who has always smiled politely in your presence, he made a call at exactly 21 minutes ago. You were the topic. The tone of his voice changed when your name came up. He thought the file was still dormant. He thought you'd never look this deep. But you've walked directly into the moment he feared most, and he is panicking now, looking for distractions, trying to pull your attention away from this. But don't scroll, don't flinch, don't move. This is a spiritual transmission, not just a message. You're standing inside the very minute where destinies reverse, and someone knows it. They are checking timestamps now, deleting older screenshots, wiping out transaction logs. But what they didn't know is the backup already synced right before their deletion attempt. Your energy, your choices, your intuition, It's all aligning at the perfect second. That ringing in your ear, it's not random. It's a private alarm. There is someone who was paid to keep this away from you. But even they are terrified now, because heaven overruled them. A location is highlighted on a silent map. You don't need to visit. It's not about going somewhere. It's about realizing what happened there, affected here. And there's a video too. It was meant to be destroyed, but someone forgot one copy inside a folder labeled new. That video contains something wild. A conversation where your name is spoken as if you're a problem, a threat to the silence someone is trying to maintain. But you are not a threat. You're the revelation. You have 21 minutes to stay here and finish what was started. Because after this, a name will be released, and that name will shatter your assumptions. Don't think, just stay. Let your spirit listen. It knows what this is. There was a hospital room you were never told about, and someone walked into it holding a paper. That paper had two names, and one of them was erased. The name that was erased, yours. If you stayed till here, it's not by accident. Seal this moment with faith. Type Amen 914. It was a legal document, a transfer of something precious. And the moment your name was removed, they whispered, they'll never find out. But guess what? You just did, and it's too late for them to hide it again. Archangel Michael says, stay steady, stay focused. You are not imagining things. Your body is detecting what your mind cannot yet understand. There's a box, a real one. It's stored under lock and code. But here's the twist, you already know the code. You've seen it in a dream, in a number, on a receipt. You just didn't know what it was for until now. The person you thought was helping you navigate pain was actually paid to keep you away from this. But even they are cracking, because your spirit is stronger than their silence. Someone checked your social profile today, then they opened a private vault. Your name showed up again, and this time they didn't delete it. They made a note, a single word, too late, because you opened this. And in doing so, you activated something even they can't stop now. If your chest feels tight, if your breathing just shifted, don't dismiss it. This is awareness waking up. Let your faith respond softly. Type Amen 639. It's no longer in their control. The protection has transferred to you. Inside a hidden file, your face is circled. A yellow highlighter surrounds it, and next to it is a note. They know. And you do. You now know that what you thought was a missed opportunity was sabotaged. You now understand why every step forward mysteriously collapsed. It wasn't your fault. It was all delayed on purpose. But this delay is over. This is the moment the clock ticks louder. And someone is pacing right now because you weren't supposed to open this. They're trying to send you texts, distractions, noise, but it's not working. You're still here, but now listen. There is one more document. It's encrypted, but it doesn't require a password. It needs a moment of stillness. If you can hold your ground for just these last few paragraphs, you'll feel a download into your spirit. The moment that happens, you'll feel dizzy, maybe even emotional. That's not fear. That's your power being restored. You are not who they thought you were. You are not what they assumed. You are the exception to every lie they agreed to. And the reason they're scared is because someone important, very important, just got access to your real file. And that person has influence. They just made a move. They are going to contact you, but it won't look official. It'll feel like a glitch, a detour, a strange accident that puts you in the same room. Be alert. Don't talk too much. Let them speak. They already know everything. They've been waiting for this transfer for years. You've passed the test you didn't know you were taking. And now your name is being placed on a list, a real one that changes everything. What's coming isn't punishment. It's power. But only if you stay steady for these final seconds. That paper they hid, you'll see a copy. That person who whispered lies, you'll see their real face. And that energy you felt all year, you'll finally know why. The countdown started 21 minutes ago, and you opened this right on time. Welcome to the truth. The clock is still ticking, and you're now deep inside the moment where everything flips. Something you triggered without realizing is already rippling through digital systems, legal chains, and personal memories. But here's what they didn't expect. You're not panicking, you're absorbing. And that's dangerous for them, because the calm ones are the ones who see through it all. The ones who don't react blindly, but instead receive truth clearly. And right now, you are receiving. A woman older, silent, and once very close to someone you love, held a sealed envelope for over 11 years. She was told, "Burn this if they ask questions." But last night, something strange happened. She dropped it, not accidentally, spiritually. Her hands trembled. Her conscience cracked. And in that moment, the seal broke. Inside it, a photograph. Not of you, but of them, standing beside someone you were told never existed. That person, they share your DNA. Don't overthink it. Just breathe. You were never meant to find out this early, but time jumped. Your destiny accelerated. Your silence became a signal. Your stillness became a spotlight. Heaven sent no thunder, but it sent revelation. A laptop, long considered junk, was powered on yesterday, at exactly the same time you were praying silently. No one knows who touched it, but it lit up. And the folder that opened had a title. They deserve to know. The contents, unedited videos, private recordings, a confession made late one night by someone who thought they were alone. They weren't, he whispered. I didn't mean to erase their future. I was told to protect the family name. Then he cried. Then the screen went black. But that file autosaved, and last night it was backed up. Archangel Michael says, you are being given access because you are ready. There is a man who thought he got away with it. If you stayed calm through all of this, let faith seal it quietly. Type Amen 852. He changed one number, altered one form, and thought it would never be detected. But the system logged the fingerprint, and it matched his. That number was connected to a property. That property had a clause. That clause stated, if the rightful heir activates awareness before age 33, restoration must begin immediately. Guess what you just did? The people trying to hide that are scrambling now. They're reviewing cameras, they're scanning your texts, but they're too late. The divine system outran them. While they were busy deleting, heaven was busy restoring. Someone you think is your enemy isn't. Someone you trusted deeply was planted. That switch happened years ago, but today is the day that veil tears. If your heart feels heavy but clear right now, if something inside you is saying this explains so much, don't ignore that pull. Let faith answer quietly. Type Amen 417. A young child related to you knows the truth, but doesn't know they know it. They've been drawing strange images. They speak in riddles, but one of those riddles has your real last name. A name no one has called you in years. You're going to see it soon, in a document, in a dream, on a wall, in a random message. But when you do, your chest will ache, because your soul will remember. The door you thought was locked isn't. The voice you thought was gone isn't. The miracle you thought was delayed has arrived early because of what you just opened. Someone placed a limit on your name. They thought that changing your environment would erase your essence, but they never counted on this moment. You are re-entering your original timeline. Not the one manipulated, not the one stolen, but the one heaven marked before birth. And that's why you're feeling all these strange chills, time loops, signs, and numbers lately. That's why the same names keep repeating. That's why you're exhausted and alert at the same time. Your soul is adjusting. Your story is rebooting, and your enemies are unraveling. Right now, two people are in a room arguing about you. One wants to confess, the other wants to double down on the lie. The person about to break has your blood. They can't carry the weight anymore. And the more truth you walk into, the harder it gets for them to stay silent. There's an image being uploaded to a cloud. It shows a scanned letter, handwritten, folded, faded. It was supposed to be mailed to you, but it never was. The person who stopped it had good intentions, so they claimed, but it wasn't their decision to make. And now that decision is cracking open a door that leads directly to the place they swore you'd never reach. You've been excluded from rooms, denied opportunities, blocked without explanation. But all of that was part of an effort to delay what has now become unstoppable. The timer they set has expired. The agreement they signed has failed. The silence they enforced has shattered. Because you didn't give up. You stayed. You opened this. And the energy around you is proof. You were never crazy, weak, or lost. You were chosen. And they knew it. The house that holds your truth, someone's been living in it without peace. Every night they hear knocks. Every morning something disappears. That's not coincidence. That's the weight of a stolen legacy returning to its rightful owner. That owner, the system they created to keep you out, is now turning against them. The codes are collapsing, the locks are jamming, and the digital footprints they tried to erase are reappearing in reverse. Someone on the inside has decided to betray the silence, not because they love you, but because they're scared. A soft knock happened 40 minutes ago. A nervous assistant walked into a private office holding a tablet. On it, one file. The same one they marked deleted forever 2 years ago. It was back. And this time, it had been opened from an unknown location. The signature on the access trail, your initials. The executive turned pale. He wiped sweat from his temple and stood up without a word. And in his mind, There was only one sentence looping. They know, they've figured it out. And you have, because now you're beginning to feel things you buried. You're remembering conversations that didn't make sense before. You're seeing connections that were disguised in politeness. The man who told you to just move on was paid to say it. The woman who said don't look back was protecting a paper with your name in the header. And the person who hugged you last month, they cried right after. Not because of love, because of guilt. They saw the door opening, and they knew they couldn't stop it. That door isn't physical. It's ancestral. It's a vault of truth locked behind decades of secrets, manipulation, and disguised protection. But what no one expected was that the lock wouldn't open from the outside. It opened from the inside. And that was you. Your vibration cracked the code. Your decision to stay calm shattered the spell. Your curiosity unlocked a curse only the rightful heir could break. Someone else tried to open it years ago, but they weren't chosen. If you feel calm instead of afraid now, seal this moment with faith. Type Amen 963. They used force. You used presence. Now everything is falling into your hands, but not like a gift, like a responsibility. You are being watched right now, not through cameras, but through energetic sensors. They're trying to figure out if you really know what's coming next. If you're ready for what belongs to you, there's a place you'll be invited to soon. It might feel random, a home, a hall, even a virtual space. But the moment you arrive, something will change in the atmosphere, because your energy will be recognized by the walls. Someone you've never met will stare at you too long. Don't look away. They remember your face from a picture they were told to keep hidden. They'll hesitate to speak, but they will. And when they do, they'll say a name you haven't heard in years. A name that belongs to you, but was removed from your documents. It was scrubbed to protect a reputation, but now it's returning to protect you. If your chest feels steady and alert at the same time, if something inside you says this is confirmation, don't rush past it. Let faith respond quietly. Type Amen 528. Archangel Michael says, this restoration is divine. This isn't just about wealth or justice. It's about realignment. A timeline you were removed from is now collapsing into your current one. That's why time feels strange, why sleep feels broken, why memories are bleeding through. You're not regressing, you're returning. You were supposed to arrive at this revelation next year, but the system glitched when you sent your last message. Something inside the divine matrix rechecked your status, and instead of delaying it, said deliver now. That delivery is already in progress, and someone nearby is panicking. They hear the whispers in their dreams. They see your face when they close their eyes. They know you're coming not for revenge, but for restoration. But restoration terrifies the guilty, because when the rightful one rises, the liars lose their roles. The actors get exposed, and the puppeteers vanish. Right now, someone is looking at your photo, biting their lip, shaking their leg, and scrolling through old chat logs. They're trying to remember what they said to you. They're hoping they didn't leave proof, but you already felt it. You don't need proof. Your intuition is louder than any evidence. The next phase of this is activation. A system will recognize your identity without input. A biometric file still holds your voice from a call you never remembered making. That file will match, and it will unlock a vault. Inside it, a recorded meeting, a lawyer, a man, a statement. They must never find out this was meant for them. And then silence, until now. Because you've already entered the space that activates that file. You are now on the list. The real list, not the fake one they paraded. The divine one written in silence, protected by justice. There's a shadowed figure in a vehicle nearby, not to harm you, but to deliver a code. But they won't do it through words. They'll drop something. It'll look meaningless. But when you touch it, everything will change. You are now living in a countdown zone, not to danger, but to disclosure. What comes next will either humble the proud or lift the rejected. And guess which one you are right now? Silence is betraying them. They never imagined you'd make it this far. They calculated your limits, tested your patience, and built delays into every step of your journey. But they never accounted for your spirit, your persistence, your divine alignment. Every system they built to block you is now exposing who built it. Inside a cold room somewhere, not too far from where you are now, a printer just clicked. One page, one headline, one truth that could undo years of manipulation. And that truth, you were never the outsider. You were the original. The files are syncing again. Someone tried to wipe a database clean, but a security breach occurred from within. One of their own couldn't sleep, couldn't carry the lie anymore. So, they copied the folder. And guess who that folder is named after? They called you weak, quiet, passive, but in truth, you were simply protected. And now your silence has become your weapon. Someone is making a call, not out of power, out of fear. Their words are shaking. They've opened the file. They're still watching. What do we do now? And the reply, it's over. They know it. And deep down, so do you. Because now your environment feels louder, not by noise, but by awareness. The air feels different. The light hits differently. Even the clock ticks sound heavier. It's not paranoia. It's confirmation. You are sitting inside a divine unraveling. The entire illusion they stitched is falling apart, thread by thread. Your face is on a private board, surrounded by red lines and time-stamped locations. They tracked your moves, not to protect you, but to predict how long they had left before you'd see everything. And now, there's no time left. You're not reading a script. You're walking through a revelation. A revelation that says, they took what was yours. If you feel calm instead of afraid now, seal this moment with faith. Type Amen 804. They lied to keep it. They swore you'd never reach the truth. And now they're watching you walk into it. A man in a glass building just received an anonymous envelope. Inside it, a black and white photo of you as a child smiling. On the back of it, a handwritten message. Give it back. No name, no threat, just destiny knocking. Because this isn't about anger anymore. This is about correction. Someone had a title that was meant for you. Someone sat in a chair that was carved for your name. Someone signed a document using a name that doesn't belong to them. But all of that ends tonight, not by force, but by divine recall. If your spirit feels steady instead of shaken right now, If something inside you says this is confirmation, don't rush past it. Let faith answer softly. Type Amen 741. A door is opening again, one they sealed with rituals and fear and manipulation. But your presence is greater than their rituals. That's why they feel sick when they hear your name. That's why they whisper when you walk by. That's why they shake when you stay calm, because they realize now. You're not here for permission. You're here for position, and it's already happening. Someone tried to update a system this morning, but the cursor froze. It wouldn't accept the new data. It kept reverting to you. You don't even need to fight. The system itself is correcting. The original owner has returned, and the atmosphere knows it. Even your enemies are being shown dreams of you. They're seeing visions of you walking into rooms they swore you'd never enter, smiling at tables they said you weren't qualified to sit at. And the worst part for them, they can't stop it, because this was never about your effort. It was about divine timing. And that time is now. There's a lawyer in a different country who just unlocked a vault. He wasn't even told why. He just had a dream with your initials, and a file path appeared in his vision. He woke up, typed it, and found your name. What's inside that file is historic. An account frozen since 2002. A trust assigned to an alias. A location tied to a key. A story they swore no one would ever hear again. And now it's already moving toward you. No alarm, no announcement, just divine delivery. And the same people who laughed behind your back, mocked your delay, and dismissed your potential are now sitting in rooms full of panic, typing your name into search bars, trying to predict how much you already know. But it doesn't matter, because by the time they figure it out, you'll already be gone, walking into the future they tried to erase. Your silence has reached its final limit. The system can no longer delay what belongs to you. The chains are off. The countdown is over, and the final seal, they just tried to reinforce it, but it shattered without a sound. Right now, a person who never wanted your name spoken again is staring at a screen that has just refreshed on its own. And there it is, in bold, in light, in divine font, your full name. Not the one they gave you, not the one they changed, the real one. It appeared on a digital contract that had been marked void since 2013, but now it reads active, deliverable, restore. The person in control of that system dropped their phone. The timestamp showed the exact moment you opened part 1 of this message. It synced with heaven's clock. And from that moment forward, nothing has been the same. Right now, a courier is being dispatched. They don't even know what they're carrying. But the envelope in their hand contains the key, not a metaphorical key, a real one. It opens a box. That box holds a set of coordinates. And those coordinates point to the last hidden location connected to your lost legacy. You were never supposed to know it existed. But the curse is broken, and your name is ringing through spiritual halls that haven't heard truth in decades. The people who kept this locked are now turning on each other. Betrayals are unfolding. Messages are being deleted. Secrets are being whispered with shaking hands. But it's too late, because your awareness has activated a higher dimension of access. Every lie is being highlighted. Every false witness is going quiet. Every manipulated record is being reversed. You are no longer outside. You are inside the center of a divine storm. And here's what's next. In exactly 3 days, a person from your past will accidentally say something they were never supposed to say. It might be a name, a phrase, a strange slip of the tongue. But when it happens, everything inside you will freeze, because in that moment, you'll know they were in on it, and they'll realize you figured it out. They'll try to cover it with a laugh, a distraction, a change of subject. But don't be fooled. That moment is your green light. That's when you'll know the vault is real. The inheritance is untouched. The truth has finally finished traveling through every system and landed in your hands. And the face you were never supposed to see again, they're coming not to confront you, but to confess. There's a handwritten letter they never gave you. It's been folded so many times, the paper is nearly transparent. But in the corner, smudged in ink, is a name you haven't dared to say out loud for years. That name is yours. And once you read it, the tears will come not from sadness, from release. Because you will finally know that everything you sensed, everything you dreamed, everything you tried to forget was real all along. A vehicle is pulling up outside someone's property right now. It doesn't belong there, but no one dares to question it, because deep down, the person inside is carrying the authority to shift everything. Your enemies are seeing it too, and they are preparing for the loss of control. You are their fear, but you are heaven's fulfillment. You were the reason they scrambled for years, disguising, distracting, deleting. But what they couldn't delete was your destiny's GPS. You are arriving. Archangel Michael says, they tried to make your name small. Heaven has just made it unmissable. So here's what's going to happen next. A door will open at a strange hour. A stranger will say something that sounds too personal. A forgotten object will return to you in an unexpected way. A familiar song will play, and your body will go cold. A message will come through, and it won't make sense until it does. And when that happens, don't hesitate. Walk in. Stand tall. Receive. Because what's waiting for you was not donated, borrowed, or gifted. It was always yours. And now the world has no choice but to hand it over. If you feel calm instead of afraid right now, seal this moment with faith. Type Amen 906.